This episode is brought to you by Greenlight. Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/Spotify. Greenlight.com/Spotify.
At Capella University, learning online doesn't mean learning alone. You'll get support from people who care about your success, like your enrollment specialist who gets to know you and the goals you'd like to achieve. You'll also get a designated academic coach who's with you throughout your entire program. Plus, career coaches are available to help you navigate your professional goals. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
Live, Laugh, Larceny discusses true petty crimes that may be disturbing to some.
Or could be easy listening to all you psychopaths out there.
All stories are based on actual events, but details may vary.
Listener discretion is not advised.
Live,
Laugh,
Larceny. Welcome to Live, Laugh, Larceny. Drinking your country friend's spit can as a sign of dominance.
Oh.
This is Trevin.
And I'm Amanda. I can think of hundreds of other ways I'd rather show dominance than that.
As a small town girl.
Yeah.
Have you accidentally drank a spit can at a
No,
party?
but I've heard of others doing it. I certainly have.
I was in a band with a guy who was a chewer, and I had accidentally reached over and grabbed his old root beer bottle and put it up to my lips, and I think my lips had just touched the very tip of it, and then I was
Just
like,
the tip?
yeah, just the tip, and I said, nope, never mind, I realized that's not mine. It didn't touch my mouth fully, but my lip touched his lip area.
Too close, too close. So, Trevin,
Yeah.
in more recent news, what is your dreadful dilemma this week?
My dreadful dilemma this week has to do with my reactions to things.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
We've talked about this over the years, especially in the earlier times I had talked about. It's like, oh, you're so expressive. It's been like a running thing where I've tried to learn how to react better.
Totally.
I think you gave me a gift and I was just like, thank you.
Yeah,
cool.
you are very interesting to give a gift to, I
Yeah.
must say. Very few words, very hard to read.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. But it doesn't mean that we don't love you.
Right. I can see how it would be hard for you. So I don't know what it is about me, though. I am always subdued in a way, and after the ADHD thing, I've kind of had some different ideas of what I think it is. You and I talked recently about how I puke gently because I said that I think I relate with women a lot because I always felt that I was too much, and so I tried to always kind of make myself smaller and quieter and not such a problem for other people as much. So I feel like every time I hear women talk about that issue, I feel like, oh, I can always resonate so much with it. So because of that, I think that's one of the reasons why I can't react well to things. I can't be like you and just cackle when something really brings me joy. And one thing I've also realized, when I'm startled or something really scares me, I tend to react by going, woo! Like I'm some sort of like vintage Will Smith or like the intro to DMX's Party Up. And I've caught myself doing this so many different times because at work, they've rearranged the building a little bit to where the outer halls of the building now, there's a lot more blind spots. And a lot of times I catch myself like, whoa, juking somebody out real quick so I don't accidentally run into them. And every time I do it and I'm about to just completely blast this lady into another galaxy, I'm like, woo! And it almost looks like I'm trying to like fake her out like a basketball player or something. But it's really annoying because I had a time where I almost stepped on one of my cats and I got really scared. One of those times where you get the anxiety like, oh, I almost died right there.
Right.
Woo! That's what I did.
Wow. I mean, that truly does make me want to be like, y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Yeah, no, that is a really interesting reaction to have. I wonder what your coworkers think of that. I wonder what your cats think of that. They probably hate it.
I don't know. I'm just really afraid it's going to be like my famous last word or something. And they're going to be like, this dude fell from a tree, broke his neck, but when he did it, he wooed really hard. So like, was he trying to do a trick or something?
That's going to be your news headline. Like, man woos the entire plummet to his death.
And I'm not even a woo girl. It's just like...
But you a woo boy.
At the scariest point of my life, all of my energy concentrated squeaks out as a woo. That's it. I don't go, ah, like I should in certain situations. Even if somebody is like in a dark corridor and I accidentally walk into a person I didn't know was there, I usually woo.
Wow.
That's how you know that I was actually scared if I woo.
Well, now I know your tell, Trevin. All of us do. That's really funny, to be honest with you. But it could be worse, right?
It could be worse. It's just so unfitting. But I guess that's totally me too.
Exactly. Just one of the lovable qualities that make you Trevin.
Yeah.
So I also have a dreadful dilemma. You got to witness it this weekend. My dilemma is that we had a few friends over for the 4th. It was just kind of like a weird year, weird energy, weird vibes. I mean, the country's going through a lot. A lot of our friends were going through a lot personally, but we still were having fun. That's not the dreadful part. The thing is that I spent all this time cleaning the house, getting everything organized, making sure we had all the food and all the things. And I'm wondering, like, what's Jordan been up to these past few hours? Like, where is this homeboy? He was investing all of his damn time. Of course, I'll give him this part. He did mow the grass, so that was useful.
Oh, good
But the
job.
rest of the time, he was working on the damn axe throwing and knife throwing thing and the little bow and arrow station, which was really fun. But my God, this guy, he's like an adult child out there on the farm.
Yeah, we could have used your help somewhere else, buddy. I did want to bring up this, so I'm glad that you brought up your party. We said last week that we were going to talk about your new house.
Yes, let's talk about it a little bit. So you finally saw it. What'd you think?
I loved it. It's such a nice little layout. And I mean, the proximity with your parents couldn't be any better. You can see their house, but like you had said earlier, you'd have to really yell to maybe get their attention. And even then, they probably wouldn't hear you.
Exactly.
So that's great. It's definitely not like you couldn't throw a ball and like hit their window.
No way.
You definitely have the privacy. I love your little back pergola thingy.
Yes.
And the outside grill.
Yeah, you guys, there was an outdoor grill under a pergola already, like on the patio. We just had to get some furniture to go underneath, but the outdoor area is so great. Every morning when I let the animals go out and go potty out in the big ass yard, I can like sit back there and it's shaded and it's really nice.
Ugh, I love that.
But yeah, I've been really working on it. I've got the sunroom kind of set up almost like an office-ish space to do some podcast stuff and murder mystery stuff, and the kitchen's finally coming together. Finally got a big ass, nice, comfy couch in the living room.
Yeah.
It's really just the basement and like Jordan and I's room that's basically has not been even attempted to be decorated or redone in any way. The girls' room has been done for the longest.
Yeah. It's not about your comfort. It's only your house.
Yeah, exactly. But we're getting there slowly but surely. And yeah, so far so good. I mean, I've loved living out there. It's really quiet. I know you were out there on the 4th, which is like the opposite of quiet, but on a normal basis, it's very chill.
It's a great hosting space. You've got parking for days out there. It's so good. And it's not street parking. It's perfect for it, and the shed and everything. So I think it's a good area for you and your family, and I can totally see easily why you got it.
Yeah, it's literally perfect for us. I love it so much. But yeah, Trevin.
Yes.
Should we go ahead and do some trivia today?
Let us.
I wanna play a game.
Whoa, Trevin. We do not have the rights to say that.
Let's have a fun time.
So we have done a number of segments about amazing animals and things that animals have achieved.
Yes, we love animals here.
We love them so much. Well, this is another one of those situations, and I think this is not only like a fun trivia, but just like a fun fact in general. So, in April 1941, during World War II, a Great Dane dog named Juliana earned a Blue Cross medal for which act of bravery? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Was it A, sitting in the middle of battle leading to a ceasefire? B, fetching water pails to and from hundreds of soldiers? Or C, urinating on and extinguishing a bomb?
Oh, boy. I just want it to be C so bad that I'm just going to have to go with it.
And your wish is my command, Trevin.
Yay.
It is C. How cute is this? Okay.
This is so cute. So you said the dog's name's Juliana.
Juliana, a Great Dane. This is seriously so old, back in 1941. This is like a very old story, and I wish I wrote all of it down. There's a lot of really good articles I read about it, but this whole story only came to light again fairly recently because somebody found an old award and found the medal with like a picture of the dog in like somebody's garage or something in their family.
I love this.
So the correct answer is C. A bomb is believed to have fallen through the roof of the house in which Juliana and her owner lived. The dog is reported to have stood over the bomb and urinated on it, extinguishing the fire and preventing it from spreading. Juliana was celebrated as a hero for a second time when in November 1944, she again helped to save the lives of her owners. After a fire had taken hold in their shoe shop, she alerted her master's family to the impending danger. I debated on if I wanted to talk about this part or not, because this is how Juliana died. If you don't want to hear about that part, fast forward, or maybe we'll cut it out, Trevin. I'll let you be the judge. Unfortunately, Juliana died from poisoning in 1946 after a substance was posted through her owner's letterbox, which I'm like, so someone was trying to poison her owner through the mail?
Or did Juliana have enemies? Like, I'm not...
Or that.
That's partially to be funny, but at the same time, it's like, this dog did some pretty amazing stuff. I could see some people...
That's true.
Maybe holding a grudge.
That's true. I really don't know, but we'll post a picture of Juliana. She is just a big, beautiful gal that really achieved some hero accolades, honestly.
That's really cool. And we have a listener named Juliana that I've met a couple times, so shout out, made me think of you.
Oh my God. Well, you are just as brave and honorable as Juliana the pup. I guarantee it.
And is beautiful. For my trivia, I wanted to talk about a famous side project. A lot of companies out there, they're known for their main things, but sometimes they dabble in things on the side too. And it can be pretty surprising what other companies do on the side.
Okay, side company.
So for you, my question is, which well-known household brand also had an aeronautical and electronics division that developed spy balloons, built a submersible to recover a lost hydrogen bomb, and even helped investigate the Titanic wreck? Is it A, Kraft, makers of processed cheese and mac and cheese classics? B, Procter & Gamble, creators of Tide, Pampers, Vicks, and countless cleaning staples? Or is it C, General Mills, the cereal giant behind Cheerios, Pillsbury, and Yoplait yogurt?
It would be kind of funny if it was General Mills, because you've done other cereal facts. And then you also had that story about the man peeing on the conveyor belt.
Mm-hmm.
I believe at that company.
That was Kellogg's.
Oh, okay.
But still.
But part of me just thinks it's B. I'm going to go B.
And you are incorrect.
Dang it!
You should have stuck with your gut. It was General Mills.
Holy shit. I really just totally was not going to go for it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that too. I was like, oh, another cereal thing, but it's pretty interesting.
No, do tell.
So just coming from their Wikipedia, in 1946, General Mills established their Aeronautical Research Division with Chief Engineer Otto C. Winzen. This division developed high-altitude balloons in conjunction with the United States Navy Office of Naval Research. In 1956, hundreds of General Mills balloons carrying reconnaissance equipment were launched by United States government under Project Gentrix to surveil Eastern Bloc countries.
Damn.
This had to do with nuclear spy stuff.
Both of our facts, we're talking about the 1940s.
Yeah, it said they also did a lot of stuff during the Second World War to help with that.
Yeah.
Which wasn't yours during the...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, their electronics division developed DSV Alvin, which is a submersible, which is notable for checking the Titanic wreck and also helping recover a bomb, which I have a cool article from NPR that's called Alvin, the Little Submarine That Could.
That's cute.
And it's a whole story about all the different things that this little submarine has done in its life. It's been around for a really long time, and it's been rebuilt and fixed, and very interesting article. So if you love stuff like that, learn a little bit more about Alvin.
Well, okay. Well, Trevin, I don't have any more facts about Alvin, but I do have these ads.
On WhatsApp, no one can see or hear your personal messages. Whether it's a voice call, message, or sending a password. To WhatsApp, it's all just this. So whether you're sharing the streaming password in the family chat or trading those late-night voice messages that could basically become a podcast, your personal messages stay between you, your friends, and your family. No one else. Not even us. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
It's Wednesday, Addams. I see you're trying to distract yourself from your own banal thoughts. Let me help. Here's a recording thing made of my latest root canal.
Wednesday, Season 2, begins August 6th, only on Netflix.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
And we're back. It is my week to go first. I do have, surprise, surprise, a story from the news. Listeners, keep sending in your stories.
Yeah.
I'd love to do another listener one.
We are about due.
It's about that damn time.
Mm-hmm. Lizzo?
Yeah. And this story sticks with a theme that I feel like will be very relatable. Extremely relatable. Okay.
I love hashtag relatable content.
That's what we're going for here at LLL. So, let's just jump in and here we go. As the sun starts to descend and tummies begin to rumble, a familiar and unpleasant conundrum boils up to the surface. It is a horrendous question that plagues spoiled, hungry humans each and every evening. What's for dinner? It seems like a simple enough issue, but for many of us, the struggle to select a meal is real. Indecisive and non-confrontational couples spend hours passively discussing the topic.
What do you want for dinner tonight, babe?
Whatever you want, babe.
I want whatever you want, babe.
I'm good with anything, babe.
Moms panic as they scramble to find a dish that will satisfy all of her picky eaters.
I want noodles!
No carbs!
I need protein!
No meat!
No dairy or gluten!
I'm allergic to salt.
Even the most subdued individuals feel the pressure at mealtime, with internal alarms blaring within.
Warning! Warning! Dinner decision imminent.
Today's story is proof that choosing what you eat for dinner matters deeply. And as you'll soon learn, there is always a petty aftertaste when mischief is on the menu. It was a hot and muggy evening on Saturday, July 10th, 2021, in Flogwood, Mississippi. To beat the heat, 19-year-old college student Kylie Edwards found herself inside her friend's small apartment. She laid out on the sofa underneath the spinning ceiling fan. When it happened, her tummy grumbled. Before she could say anything, her friends, Bubba and Boo, giggled.
I reckon that means it's dinner time.
Bubba stated loudly before rising from the other couch.
Hold your horses now. We haven't decided where we want to eat tonight.
Boo gently reminded her hungry pals.
Before y'all get too excited, just remember, we gotta go somewhere to watch the fights.
Bubba said with anticipation. I hear things can get pretty rowdy down at the McDonald's on Main Street. People are always acting crazy at the drive-thru.
Or we could get free food at my uncle's barbecue tonight. There's always fights breaking out once the sun goes down.
Both girls eagerly suggested dinner and a show, but Bubba stopped them.
Hold now, darlings. I meant the UFC fights on the telly.
Oh.
Well, in that case, why don't we go to Buffalo Wild Wings? They have the biggest TVs. Plus, the last time I ate there, I left full as a tick on a hound dog. The group of friends agreed and piled into Kylie's car. Before long, they had made it to the restaurant with the simple slogan of wings, beer, sports. It was a crowded spot, with patrons lining the bar and the majority of tables full to capacity. Luckily, a small high top had just been cleared, and the three friends were sat in the center of all the action. The building smelled of spicy sauces and beer belches, while massive television screens encompassed the starving friends. Before they could gain their bearings, a peppy waiter approached the table.
Welcome to WWII, where the wings are almost as hot as the staff. We've got wing sauce ranging from sweet and soft to blazing buttholes. Can I take your order?
I'll take a dozen timid teriyaki.
I want the medium marinade.
Blazing butthole for me, please.
The friends chomped on their wings and chugged their beers as the UFC fights began on screens around them. Yet just as the aggression grew on TV, tensions also escalated in the crowd of onlookers.
Yo, bro, did you just get spicy garlic sauce on my sneakers?
Nah, man, it was Caribbean jerk.
Did you just call me a jerk?
Soon, the two men with the misunderstanding were in each other's faces, close enough to feel the spiciness of their words. Suddenly, one of the men threw a punch straight into the other man's noggin, causing him to throw hands in return. The man's scuffle lasted for a few minutes before other crowd members broke them up.
Let's turn this spice level down, shall we?
Only just as the sauciness cooled down in one corner, the other side of the restaurant had another fight break out, this time between two women.
What did you just call me?
A thirsty bitch. You drank all my water. What did you expect?
Yet before they could talk it out over a dessert, the two fell down onto the tile restaurant floor and started wrestling.
Hey, look! Another fight!
Before long, multiple fights had broke out inside the once calm bar and grill. Fists were swung, chairs were knocked over, and sauce was spilled. The three friends remained seated and entertained, taking in all of the commotion. Bubba laughed about the additional fights. Boo cried from her blazing wings, and Kylie recorded it all on her cell phone. As emergency vehicles and police officers approached, the friends had to smile at the irony. What had started as an organized fight on screen had quickly turned into a chaotic brawl in real life. On Saturday, July 10th of 2021, around 11 p.m., Flogwood Police, the fire department, and an ambulance arrived at a Buffalo Wild Wings restaurant on McKenzie Lane in Flogwood, Mississippi. According to 19-year-old Kylie Edwards, her and her two friends went to the bar and grill that night to watch the UFC fight. Instead, they ended up witnessing a public brawl. She was interviewed by local media outlets stating,
"We were just there to watch the fight on TV, and we got to see like 3 more. My friend looked at me and he was like, 'Hey, those people are about to start fighting.' I didn't know what he was talking about. I thought he was talking about the TV. And then a guy punches this guy and he goes to get the manager, and then a few minutes later, these girls start fighting. That's when I started videoing. It was like right in front of us. We had to get up from our table and like kind of scoot over a little bit. It was unexpected. We thought it was pretty funny. It was kind of crazy in there."
Kylie also said she wasn't injured and that the fights wouldn't deter her from returning to the restaurant. She later posted the video she took of the brawl to her social media, gaining multiple media articles' attention. Officers were able to arrest 2 men at the scene. One of them was Robert Gilroy, who was charged with public drunkenness and disobeying a police officer, and James Nichols, who was also charged with public drunkenness, disobeying a police officer, and disturbance in a public place. After further investigation, 3 other people were arrested on Monday, July 12th. Their names were Lacey Nichols, Ricky Bailock, and Jeffrey Miller. They were all charged with disturbance in a public place. No punishments were listed, and at the time of the articles, Buffalo Wild Wings ownership had not responded to a request for comment. The next time you're questioning where you should eat for dinner, I want you to remember this petty crime. Instead of reviewing ratings or scanning the menu, perhaps you should consider the likelihood of a brawl breaking out. After all, sometimes hungry tummies can't help but select a recipe for disaster.
Once again, we find ourselves on a recording night on a weeknight where I'm hungry.
I know, same.
And boy, would a variety of wings just sound lovely.
It really does. Are you a Buffalo Wild Wings fan, Trevin?
Yeah, I'm a Buffalo Wild Wings fan. As far as just like chain bar and grills go, I like going there. I like getting their Long Island.
Yeah, I like that they have a wide variety of sauces.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to kind of make fun of that aspect. Timid teriyaki all the way to burning buttholes, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, did you see that coming? Was that kind of unexpected that there was just fights breaking out all over the place?
I did not. I knew that Kylie was actually a real person, and I didn't know if this was one of those stories where they were going to be the victim or if they were going to be somehow a part of it. So when you first had said a fight broke out across the room, I thought, okay, well, what's Kylie going to do about it?
Right.
Then when a second one breaks out, then I got really confused. So
totally.
As far as throwing people off the scent and doing something different than what we normally do, this was very good for that.
Yeah, and the reason I did it is just because all of the media outlets and articles and the interviews all focus so heavily on her.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I had the other people's names and their funny mugshots, which one of the guys does have like a big old shiner right on his noggin. That's why I put that part in there. But they're all just young kids and most of them are kind of smiling. It's kind of funny. But I just felt like sometimes getting an outside perspective can be just as funny as somebody on the inside of the commotion. And it focused so much on her, it was easy to do.
And we've done crimes of people fighting in restaurants, and those people probably weren't interesting enough characters. But really, the story here is what luck. You're at a restaurant and you see 2 brawls break out at once.
2 brawls. And I'm serious. Like, it is a really big, dreadful dilemma that a lot of us have. What are we going to have for dinner tonight?
Oh, God, yeah.
And so I was like, this is a very common thing. And how funny would it be to tie this into, well, if you pick the right one or wrong one, I guess, depending on if you want to see a fight or not, you could end up in this situation. So just never know.
And did I hear this correctly? Did one of the guys who got arrested have the same last name as one of the girls that got arrested? Or did I hear that wrong? I thought I heard 2 Nichols.
Okay, so James Nichols. Oh, Lacey Nichols. Trevin, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. I wonder if they're a married couple, siblings. Another reason why I didn't tell it from their perspectives, they didn't tell me their ages. They didn't tell me any quotes from them.
Like what caused
They
it?
didn't tell me literally 0 details of what caused either fight. And they said eventually 3 fights had broken out. So I don't even know about what was going on in the third one. They didn't even really talk about it. But yeah, interesting. I wonder if he was like trying to defend his lady in the girl brawl and got dragged into it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Fighting family, I guess.
Fighting family.
Well, it makes me want Buffalo Wild Wings, not a sponsor, but I won't blame you if you go.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the southern angle of it. We've never really, I'm sure we have.
Yeah. But Mississippi in particular, that was just so fun.
I was trying to do a Billy Bob Thornton meets True Blood, but with his teeth are too big for his mouth.
Nailed it.
So that was really fun, a different thing to do, and one that I don't feel weird making fun of so much as, maybe I would people from a country cooler than ours or something.
Totally. Yes.
One other thing that I noticed was when you named the dudes who got arrested, one dude had 1 extra charge than the other one.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I wonder what you have to do. Like, what did he do to just get that extra one over the other guy?
And why did the people who got arrested the next day, why did they only get 1? When the other guys got at least 2. Yeah, I don't know. I would love to know.
Yeah.
I'd love to know what all their punishments were, too. I don't know why it took a day to find the rest of them. I don't know. It's all a mystery.
Maybe we can tag Kylie if we can find her for having this story.
Yeah, be like, fill in the deeds.
This episode is brought to you by Cars.com. On Cars.com, you can shop over 2 million cars. That means over 2 million new car possibilities, like making space for your growing family, becoming the type of person who takes spontaneous weekend camping trips, or upgrading your commute. Wherever life takes you next or whoever you're looking to be, there's a car for that on Cars.com. Visit Cars.com to discover your next possibility.
Your burger is served. And this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. Its sweet profile perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger.
That is one perfect combination. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
This episode is brought to you by Liquid IV. In heart-pumping moments, you need hydration that can keep up. That's where Liquid IV comes in. Scientifically formulated to quickly replenish electrolytes and fluids lost from your well-earned sweat session. Hydrate your favorite mode of movement with Liquid IV, made with triple the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, plus 8 vitamins and nutrients. Also available and sugar-free. Tear, pour, live more. Visit liquidiv.com to learn more.
This week, I have been thinking a lot about the season. And I know that I did the swimming, chicken choking story last week.
Yep.
Which had to do with swimming, but it wasn't really a summer story. I guess your 4th of July story was very summer-centric.
Totally.
And I thought, I don't care too much to do a 4th of July story, but I still want to celebrate the season. And this is the episode that I'm choosing to tell my summer story. I think this is a fun one. I've had this one on my list for quite some time. It's been ongoing, actually, so I've kind of been watching it unfold.
I love that.
Yes, it's finally to a point where it is concluded, and by the time it was concluded, I almost wasn't sure if I was going to tell it, but it sticks with you in some kind of way.
Just like your pants to your butt during the summer heat?
Exactly like that. So grab some shade and show some skin, because it's summertime. And here we go. Summer. A time for sunburns, grilling, and sweat stains that make wearing a shirt more than once virtually impossible. The days are longer, but so muggy you want them to end as soon as they start. This is fun. Or at least, this is what I was told is fun. From a young age, public school trained me to accept a weekday morning to afternoon schedule of things I didn't want to do. Evenings were for recharging, weekends for partying. And summertime? Summertime was the Super Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. A months-long weekend with no school and no responsibility. But adulthood robbed us of that seasonal high. Now, summer means higher electricity bills, too much humidity to comfortably take a walk, and the need to invent foolproof excuses for turning down swimming invites.
Hey, Trevin, want to come to the pool with me and all your friends?
Sorry, I've got an open wound on my asshole that won't heal until November. Of course, not everyone shares the same ADHD-laced backstory of summertime seasonal depression. Some people go on adventures. They take vacations. They confidently reveal more of their body in public. It's a season of freedom for those willing to feel free. But if there's one thing we've learned in this business, it's that freedom often comes at a cost. And that cost is usually crime. So go ahead, slip on those sandals that expose your disgusting ass feet, and remind the world of that regrettable lower back tattoo of your ex.
Who the fuck is Roger?
Because we're headed to a summertime get-together, and things are about to get heated. Flames crawled up through the grates of a barbecue grill, gently caressing the flesh of 4 sizzling burger patties, each touch sending a distinct aroma to Wendy's nostrils.
Don't burn those burgers like you always do, Doug. People other than you have to eat them.
Wendy's husband looked up from the grill, then over to the patio full of guests. They talked amongst themselves, pretending not to hear the marital micromanagement. He glanced at the outdoor table he'd painstakingly set to resemble a fancy restaurant, disposable everything, down to the additional salad fork. With an exhausted sigh, he turned back to his meat. Wendy scanned the backyard, making sure everyone was having a good time. Marty chuckled in conversation with Courtney. A child sneezed into the bag of Doritos. Jackie G was giving massages to anyone who would sit near her.
Boy, do I have a podcast for you!
Her pride inflated. Each guest's smile, in her mind, brought to you by her. She bounced from table to table, providing refills to any exposed cups, thanking guests,
Thank you.
and offering commentary nobody asked for.
I made the pasta salad with love and a pound of lard. Sorry about the weird noise. I guess our neighbor decided now was the right time to mow his lawn.
Doug wiped a tear into his apron. Nobody noticed, not even the meat.
Be right back. Parties don't run themselves.
Wendy announced, skipping toward the house and leaving the group unattended. There was a moment of silence. The guests looked at one another before Marty broke it.
Is anybody gonna say it?
That everyone should be supporting Live Laugh Larceny on Patreon?
Jackie offered, hands still massaging someone's shoulders.
No, the potato salad. It's in a container that's clearly labeled Kroger. Oh yeah, I watched her open it.
Courtney added.
And I'm starting to worry about Doug. He's been crying into the grill for the last 10 minutes.
Everyone's attention turned to Jackie's son, Millard, running in circles with a squirt gun in his hand.
Ma'am, will you come and play with me? No one wants to play with me because I have a stupid name.
I'll play with you.
Wendy's voice called from the back door. She stepped off the deck and greeted the little boy, crouching down to his level.
Why don't you give me that squirt gun, and I'll chase you around with it?
Millard handed the toy over without hesitation. Wendy inspected the squirt gun, feeling the cheap, wet plastic in her hands, and quickly realizing she had no idea how the fuck it worked. She stared at it blankly, fidgeting with the pump and nozzle like she was trying to crack a safe. After an awkward beat, Millard stepped in to explain the basic mechanics of a water pistol.
Are you stupid, lady?
Armed with just enough knowledge to be dangerous, Wendy turned on her tiny water arms instructor and aimed the nozzle.
Now that I know how to shoot this thing, you better run.
The child giggled loudly, turning away from the deck and running. Wendy fired a stream of water at his back, kicking her legs about and laughing like a donkey in mating season. She struggled to keep up, huffing and puffing as the boy zigzagged across the yard. As he made another turn toward the fence line, Wendy slowed, steadied her aim, and prepared the kill shot. She gripped the squirt gun with both hands and clenched her trigger finger. With a heavy pull, the nozzle released a weak stream, just a few milliliters, straight into the chest of her neighbor who was mowing his lawn. The man cried, releasing the handle of the push mower.
You shot me!
Wendy dropped the gun, afraid of its power.
I'm so sorry. You know how these things can be.
She raised her hands like she was being held up.
That was on purpose. I'm calling the cops.
Wendy followed after him, pleading.
Please come back. It was a mistake.
But the man didn't stop.
Fine, you coward.
She snapped, spinning back toward her guest.
He's the problem. He's always calling the cops. This guy has had issues with everyone in the neighborhood.
A short time later, the barbecue welcomed an unexpected guest, Pork, served in the form of 2 uniformed officers responding to an assault call. Wendy stayed planted on the patio, flanked by her confused guests, while Doug reluctantly approached the officers.
What seems to be the problem, Constable?
Go ahead and get your wife from the backyard, sir,
the lead officer said.
She's being charged with assault with a weapon.
The guests fell silent as Wendy's voice rose behind them, arguing her case as she slowly gave herself up.
It was an accident. I'm not the weird neighbor. I don't even know how to use a squirt gun.
1 week later, a sharply dressed man stepped out of the news van in front of Wendy's house. He knocked confidently on the door, and Wendy answered right away. Mrs. Washik, Kent Gooch, General Nondescript News, Canada.
Come in.
Wendy led the handsome newscaster and his small crew into her home. After scoping out the best background for her interview, Kent gave a quick rundown.
We've got you down for the deluxe victim package. Driveway shot, creepy neighbor's house looming in the back. Just hold up the weapon and talk about how you were put on leave. Viewers eat that up.
My daughter also started a GoFundMe, and I've got neighbors who'd love to talk shit about that guy.
Kent glanced at his assistant, both of them practically salivating.
Perfect! Sympathy sells, people. Now let's get sad.
That night, the interview aired. Wendy told her story. The tiny water pistol was shown to the world, and several neighbors appeared on camera to voice their disdain for the man next door.
When I'm walking down the sidewalk, I cross the street just to avoid his house.
He calls the cops for everything. Why are the police protecting him and torturing this poor woman?
Donations poured into Wendy's GoFundMe. Her initial goal of $5,000 for court fees doubled in just days. And although the platform eventually shut down the fundraiser due to its connection to a criminal charge, Wendy had already withdrawn $11,000 before quietly relaunching under the lesser-known site GiveSendGo. Armed with a legal allowance courtesy of the good people of Canada, Wendy wept herself every night and prepared for her March 2025 court date. But just before she could take the stand in defense of her water-based war crime, a surprise news report blew the case wide open.
Breaking news out of Simcoe, Ontario this evening. I'm Kent Gooch. It's the story that's left the nation wet with suspense. One woman stands trial for assault with a weapon after allegedly shooting her grumpy neighbor with a water gun. But tonight, General Nondescript News Canada has my exclusive interview with the man behind the mower, who we can now identify as Sheehan Rochester in a segment we call Between the Gooch. Mr. Rochester, you've brought us surveillance footage in your side of the story, revealing that you interacted with Mrs. Washik before the incident took place. It was originally described as a harmless accident, but this new evidence suggests that it may have been planned. GNN Canada will now play the footage over your response. For our audio-only listeners, my intern Tori will narrate Wendy Washik's actions as interpreted through body language and judgment. She was at the end of the gate, giving me this Cheshire smile and waving at me.
Hello, I'm staring at you and waving like a creep.
Every time I'd come down with the mower, she'd wave again.
You can't ignore me. I'll still be here waving on your next row.
It was very strange and creepy, to be honest with you.
Then we see a child in the distance carrying a water gun. Washik attempts to get his attention.
Yoo-hoo, boy. Come here. I'm waving at you now with 2 hands.
The child walks off camera. Washik follows. You've previously told us this is part of a campaign of ongoing harassment and collective bullying, and that you believe it's racially motivated. I feel like we are targeted here. I have a young family, and my wife, and I have to do what we have to do to protect our young family. Records show you've called the police 14 times prior to this incident. You've also mentioned that since this story went viral, the threats have escalated to violence. Are you considering leaving a neighborhood you can no longer trust?
Well, why should I? At the end of the day, I was here first.
And are you concerned the people of 2025 won't be able to accept new information that changes how they view those involved?
This is Canada, not America. I think I'll be okay.
Upon further review of the footage, GNN Canada can confirm this neighborhood is wider than a White House press pool. So Sheehan Rochester's story checks out. We'll see how it all pans out in the final verdict.
On September 1st, 2024, 58-year-old Simcoe, Ontario woman Wendy Washik was charged with assault with a weapon after allegedly spraying her neighbor in the chest with a water gun. The neighbor, 49-year-old Sheehan Rochester, had been mowing his front lawn at the time of the incident. Washik claimed the blast was accidental, part of a playful backyard moment with a child. Rochester, however, had a different interpretation, backed by surveillance footage that appeared to show Washik watching him from the sidewalk, waving repeatedly, and requesting a squirt gun from a child after making a flicking motion toward him. In the weeks that followed, Rochester alleged the water gun incident was not isolated, but part of a years-long campaign of racially motivated harassment by Washik and other neighbors. According to police records, he had called law enforcement roughly 14 times in recent years due to threats and other incidents. Police arrived on the scene shortly after the water gun encounter, speaking with Washik and others for over 20 minutes. In the background of the footage, yelling and profanity are heard, directed not at the police, but at Rochester and his house. Washik was arrested at the scene. In response to the charges, she maintained that, quote, the incident wasn't as serious as police made it seem, and that the spray was accidental. In June of 2025, Washik entered into a 9-month peace bond, an agreement that does not admit guilt, but carries court-ordered conditions. She must avoid contact with Rochester, stay off his property, and remain on good behavior until March 2026. If violated, the charge can be reinstated. In a statement, Rochester said he and his family have been, quote, deeply affected, and hoped Washik would honor the agreement moving forward. Washik, for her part, stuck with her version of the story. She claimed that she was simply, quote, having a playful water gun fight with a child at a party when she accidentally sprayed water on the neighbor. She added,
I've never spoken to him, other than, going out of my way to say hi for him to ignore me.
Summer is a time ripe for crime, and no story proves that better than this one. Everyone has their own version of summer. Maybe it's a possible racist throwing a backyard barbecue, or just a regular person trying to squeeze in a quick mow before dinner. But things aren't always what they seem, and not everyone experiences the world the same way you do. Some people are wildly unaware, others are fiercely protective of their pride, and being the loudest doesn't make you innocent. So whatever you're doing to beat the heat this summer, I hope it doesn't involve getting heated at your neighbor. Because while water can cool down a hot day, in the right or wrong hands, it can also be used as a weapon.
We both said beat the heat.
Oh, did we?
I was like, what is our connection going to be? And right when you said that, I was like, ding, 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 ding. We did have misleading main characters as well. Like, I thought the neighbor was actually in the wrong until we got the full flipped story of yours.
Yeah.
And you thought that my gal was going to be in the wrong, but she was just the witness. So anyway, beat the heat. How funny.
That's perfect.
So, okay, you showed me the video. And in her story, she's like, oh, just a simple little accident, blah, blah, blah. But then it shows her and she's like standing in front of his fence. It's not even like the neighboring fence, right?
Right. She is standing on the sidewalk in front of his front yard.
Waving at him.
Just standing there still, just like making eye contact and just slowly waving the whole time. And he's trying to mow his grass. And of course, you're doing strips and going back and forth. So every time he would do a row and then walk away not looking at her, when he would turn around and do the next row, she'd still be sitting there waving.
Fucking creepy as hell. And the fact that he has called to complain about them 14 times also solidifies, because I thought this was going in a totally different direction. I thought that he was the dramatic one that was like, oh, a water gun shot me, But it's like, no, this weirdo has been harassing him for a very long time.
And originally, that's what I wanted to do with the story, was just write how over the top and dramatic. It's like, oh, you shot me. And I wanted it to go even more overboard. But then I was like, well, we can still make it dramatic without making him look stupid.
Yeah.
I was so shocked that when things turned around, it was that situation, which I think we've kind of had something similar where it's like that person might be racist.
Yeah.
I don't know that she is, but damn, the evidence makes it look pretty possible.
Yeah.
But that was the weird thing about this too, is the first thing that came out was woman gets arrested for assault with a weapon, with a squirt gun. And it was like, oh, ha, 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 okay, that goes viral. And then she goes and makes a GoFundMe and then goes on the news and is just like, oh, it's been so hard. Everybody hates this guy. He's so mean. It's a little bit of water because she said she works for a school or something. So she's on leave because of the issue that happened. And so she's like, I can't make money. It's not fair. We're just the victims in all this situation.
Wow.
I had that to go off of for a while. And then the GoFundMe got shut down. So then I had news on the GoFundMe getting shut down because they're like, it's a criminal case. You can't have a GoFundMe. So I'm like, that's good. Little did I know, it wasn't until I found it in some other articles later that she did get money out of it. Because when I first heard it, it sounded so like bad luck. It was like, oh, poor woman. She was just trying to get her thing and they shut it down. And I didn't know that she got $11,000 before it got shut down. But in the original news thing, they did ask other neighbors, and you could just kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm reading into it, but the neighbors just looked like more than happy to just come on the camera and just be like, oh yeah, I hate that guy. It's interesting when it's like, oh, me and all my friends say they suck. It kind of looks like, maybe the news gave a lot of publicity and attention to a bunch of people just bullying a guy.
Right.
It was nice to see the guy got to stand up for himself. I mean, obviously it was a squirt gun thing, so she probably wasn't going to get in too much trouble, but
yeah,
it's weird to think about it like that. Because, I mean, think about it from the cops' angles. Like, we've come here 14 times.
Like, stop shooting him with this water gun, you freak, while he's trying to mow.
Yeah, he gets shot with a squirt gun. It's like, well, we have 14 other calls saying that this dude's been picked on, and now we have evidence of it. Like, I'll call it assault.
Yeah.
Because now it just makes me go back on all the other things you've said and validate all that.
Damn, that is honestly crazy.
Yes.
Like how that developed and how if you would have just wrote the story sooner, you wouldn't have had the other guy's whole side of it, and we just would have been like roasting him.
Yeah.
Along with all his other neighbor bullies.
You dramatic shit.
But honestly, sometimes it is good to wait and get that more detailed ending. I know that doesn't always happen and whatever, but weird.
I didn't expect it to have gone that direction. The whole part about her like being an idiot, not know how to use the gun, multiple interviews, she's like, I'm an adult. I don't play with kid stuff. I don't know how to shoot a squirt gun. She said that a few different times. And I'm like, I have to put a thing in here that just makes her look so stupid.
You're like, huh? When you said she was toying with it like it was a safe.
If I was making a movie or a stupid like TV show about it, I would have her like put the handle in her mouth and be like, huh, did this what works? Because that's just how I feel about her and the way she's like, I'm a 58-year-old woman. How am I supposed to know how to use a squirt gun?
Yeah, it's like, babe, what?
I did want to say the Kent Gooch character.
Love that name.
Because the news played such a big part in this, I wanted it to seem like it was all the same like local news person, kind of like The Simpsons had like one news person.
Yeah.
So I made it Kent Gooch. But there was a guy who did a lot of the investigation on all the stuff that kind of made her look like a victim. And then there was just a completely random guy that gave the other guy a voice.
Okay.
I did not give this guy a funny name because I thought the original guy's name was funny. But the original guy's name is Jeff Pickle.
Funny that you say that because your voice and your character of the news person reminded me of the newscaster in the Rugrats movie. And, their last name is Pickles. So
oh, yeah.
It reminded me of him being like, there are 4 babies missing in action in a Reptar toy. That's the vibe I got. So you nailed it. You got the newscaster down pat. Great job.
Thank you.
Well, I hope everyone's having an amazing week. And just remember, no matter the crime, big or small, in the end, we are all doomed.
Doomed to beat the heat.
Beat that heat. Whoop. Bye.
See ya.
Woo! Don't be scared. Come on over to Patreon. We've got bonus content, ad-free episodes, and movie nights.
And when you need to save the day, do you piss on stuff? Tell us about it on social media. Find us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, or Threads. Live, Laugh, Larceny.
Have you witnessed a petty crime or a brawl at Buffalo Wild Wings? If so, send us your crime story at livelaughlarceny@gmail.com.
And give our show the same rating you give the spy capabilities of General Mills cereal. Give us 5 stars wherever you rate podcasts, Apple, Spotify, or Good Pods. Can you do some struggling, like wrestling noises?
Oh, yeah.
As like you can do the same woman voice you just did a bit ago.
Okay.
Perfect. I need to just save a bunch of those of you and have them.
Yeah. Struggling woman. I'm good at playing that role.
Yeah, that's your role.